I just have a desire to be great. You know, that's one of the main things, the fact that there's another man on the other side of the ring that wants to hurt me.
I told you, all of my critics, I told you all that I was the greatest of all time.
He can bring the pressure. He can box. I'm a true champion. I'm willing to go to his turf. I'm a step on him. I'm a crush him. Y'all can mark my word to this. I'm a crush him. He's a C-plus fighter. I'm an A-plus fighter because I'm a dominate. This guy is flat-footed, swing wild. I'm not worried about who his trainer is because his trainer can't get in there and fight for him. I'm ready mentally, physically, because I'm a team like he's a C-plus fighter. I'm a dominate. I'm a dog this fighter.
I'm the best ever. I'm the most brutal and vicious and most ruthless champion there's ever been. There's no one to stop me. Lynch is Corcoran. No, I'm Alexander. He's no Alexander. I'm the best ever. There's never been anybody ruthless. I'm Sonny Liston. I'm Jack Dempsey. There's no one like me. I'm from the airport. There's no one that can match me. My style is impetuous. My defense is impregnable. And I'm just ferocious. I want your heart. I want to eat his children.
15 minutes. Can you? Listen, your concentration's leaving a little bit. Pick it up. Pick it up. Fire's coming. Are you ready for the fire? Don't quit firemen. We are firemen. The heat doesn't bother us. We live in the heat. We train in the heat. It tells us that we're ready. We're at home. We're where we're supposed to be. Flames don't intimidate us. What do? We control the flame.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's Season 2, Episode 34. And whoa, we got a lot to talk about. And before I go on into the topics, especially the one of the biggest upsets in the heavyweight division that we just recently saw this Saturday with AJ versus Ruiz, I am super excited to announce that later on we're going to have Regis Prograis, a.k.a. Rougarou, the WBA light welterweight champion. He's everything but light, 24-0, 20 knockouts. He's been on the show before, and we're super excited to have him soon. But before we have him, and we have an exciting podcast, let's introduce the usual suspects, which is Courtney Tanner, Aaron, and Tommy. What's going on, gentlemen? How's everything?
Don't call it a comeback. You know, boxing is winning, and that's the statement we're making here on the Standing 8 podcast. So I'm blessed. And I'm just excited. I'm excited for the broadcast. We're going to be able to bring our fans tonight. Stoked.
I'm super stoked, just like you, Courtney. Super stoked to have Ruger on. Also super stoked to talk about what we just saw this Saturday. It seems like the entire world, and I say world because AJ is a global phenomenon, you know, recognized obviously not just in the U.S., but back home in the UK and just globally, probably one of the biggest, if not the biggest boxer right now in the game. But we're all stunned to see what just happened. But let's see if I got Tommy on. Aaron, what's going on, gentlemen? I see that D-Rock's already, he just called in too. You guys are stoked as us to have, obviously, Regis. We're also going to have Eddie Sanchez, super loyal supporter of ours, and obviously we reciprocate the love back to Eddie. Hopefully he's on soon as well. He's got a fight coming up, and we're all excited because I know some of you guys out in the West Coast are going to be at that fight. But Tommy, what's going on, bud? You on?
Yo. Yes, I'm on, and I'm hyped for this, man. This is going to be a great episode, so I'm just excited to get it. Boxing live, and this is about to be live, so let's go.
All right, gentlemen, I'm excited. I want to talk about AJ versus Ruiz, but we have none other than Mr. Rougarou himself, Regis Prograis. Regis, what's going on, bud?
I mean, I'm good, bro. How y'all doing?
We're great. We're great. First and foremost, we want to thank you for taking the time and obviously logging on and giving us the call and showing us love. You know, last time you were on was November 29 of 2017, and since then you've had 4 pretty major fights, notorious wins over Julius Ndongo, whose only loss before yours was to Bud Crawford, and you went on to beat Terry Flanagan, and obviously you went on to win the WBA light welterweight champion. As I said before, everything about you is not light. You know, you're an action-packed type fighter. We enjoy watching you in the ring. You're definitely a killer in that square for sure. And we love the fact that you're gaining so much momentum so quickly. So tell us what's changed in your life in the last since the last time you were on.
A lot, man. A whole lot. Just a whole different style of living right now. Basically, I think the last time I talked to y'all, I was living in a 2-bedroom apartment in Houston, and now I live in a gated community in LA. Big old 5-bedroom house, gated community in LA. So, yeah, man, living a dream. That's the main thing, living a dream. And I never thought I always know I had the skills to be where I'm at, but I never, until you get there, you never think it's gonna happen. You never know it's gonna happen. So, yeah, I mean, everything is just, I'm in the clouds right now.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Hey,
and I think the last time we had you on too, you had just recently had, I think, your boy, your kid. So I know that's been a blessing for you as well. I see how tight you are with your family.
Mhm.
Amen.
Amen. Mhm.
Listen. Mike is being too nice. Since the last time we had you on, Regis, you've been fucking people up. Let's keep it 100%.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, I
let's
think
keep
I'm
it 100.
still doing it, right? I think I'm still.
Yeah, absolutely. You can fucking people up. So
right there.
I want to keep it 100%. And I know a lot of us, not just here, not even because you're on. People have been singing your praises for a long time. That next level, household name. Do you think that winning the WBSS is going to put you in that realm where even a lot of boxing aficionados already have you ranked in the top 10? Does that top 10 even matter to you, or you just focus on doing your thing?
I mean, of course, I want to be in the top 10 pound for pound. I want to be everything, but of course, I just focus on me. I focus on doing my thing, and I focus on one opponent at a time, and that's it. And I think that's why I entered into the WBSS, just because it really is. We stress this a lot. It's really the best fight in the best, and my next fight is against Josh Taylor. We really the number 1 and number 2 fighters in the world fighting each other. You got 2 undefeated fighters, 2 undefeated champions fighting each other in their prime, So it's just something special, and you usually don't get that. And so, of course, for me, I'm just keep going out there and doing my thing.
No, absolutely. Now you mentioned Josh Taylor. I know we were going to get to him. He has 15 fights on his belt. He's a good-looking fighter, but stylistically, he's another southpaw. He's just a little taller, longer reach. Are you making adjustments during that matchup, or do you already know how to beat him?
I mean, I feel I already know how to beat him. I feel like he gotta adjust to me. I don't have to adjust to him. I'm gonna go out there and do what I gotta do. I feel like my style is a terror for anybody right now. So, but I mean, yeah, of course, I'm gonna go out there and like I said, just do my thing. I never have a game plan going into the fight. I always just go out there and go off of my rhythm and go off of my reflexes, and and it always get the job done. So I don't think it'll be no different with him.
Regis, who also had a height advantage and a reach advantage over you, and you demolished them. That was
Julius
Dongo. Yeah.
I mean,
Yep.
well, if you look at if you look at all of my opponents, they all have a height advantage over me and a reach advantage over all of them. Of course, Julius Dongo had a way bigger. It was more obvious, but all my opponents so far has been bigger than me. All of them had longer arms. All of them have been naturally bigger than me. So for me, the size difference, that never matters to me. The bigger they are, the harder they fall. That's how I feel. It's not the size of the dog in the fight. It's just the size of the heart, basically. That's it. So that's how I feel about fighting.
Yeah, and one of the things that we love about you is that you really don't have any filter when you're in the ring with your post-fight interviews. You pretty much say what's on your mind, and I think that's what a lot of the fans love. And that's what a lot of fans want to hear and want to see, and you carry that out in the ring, right? Like you carry that demeanor, that whole demeanor in the ring. Like that D-Rock said, you're a bad motherfucker in the ring. That's for sure. And a lot of people in that division are scared to get in the ring right now with you because, whew, boy, a lot of guys have fallen down. A lot of guys.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So
well, I mean, for me,
tell us.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I was going to ask you, how are you preparing for Josh Taylor What are the advantages that you see against him, and what do you see are his weaknesses that you know you're going to exploit? And I know you mentioned that you train. You don't really train to adapt to anybody's fighting stance or fighting ability. And somebody that used to do that too was Floyd Mayweather. You know, you're telling them they got to adapt to your style. But I'm sure that you see advantages in your fighting style versus his.
I mean, for me, the whole thing is if I'm able to hit him and he's not able to hit me, that's all. You know, I don't kind of break. I break things down in my mind when I'm in the ring fighting somebody. But as far as just looking on the outside, you know, I feel like I'm gonna be able to hit him more times than he's gonna be able to hit me, and that's it. You know, and I feel like I will be able to hurt him. You know, I went to Scotland for the fight with him and Ivan Baranchyk, and you know, he had a big old cut over his eye, and you know, Ivan, of course, I don't want to take nothing away from Ivan, but Ivan not the fight I am. Ivan Baranchyk is definitely not me. And if he got hit by Ivan Baranchyk, you know, he definitely gonna get hit a lot by me. You know, he got hit, like I said, he got hit a lot, but with big winging shots from Ivan Baranchyk. And you know, if that happened, if you let somebody like him hit you, you know, I told him to his face, bro, like you can't take them shots from me because you will go to sleep. If I hit you with the same shots Baranchyk hit you with, and I'm gonna throw way more punches than Baranchyk, so I'm gonna hurt you and I'm gonna put you to sleep. And if your eye look like that against Baranchyk, just imagine what it's gonna look like after you finish fighting with me, you know. So that's the whole thing, you know. It's a fight, and I don't need to break it down and you know style wise. And this is just about like I really feel like he won't be able to land. He won't if I really want to be slippery in there, he won't be able to touch me. And when I touch him, I'm gonna hurt him, and I think that's the main thing.
Yeah, and a lot of people know you for your offense, but if you know, listeners out there, if you watch a lot of the replays, and I watch a lot of your replays because it's so action packed. I was at the gym yesterday. I was watching the replays, showing it to people there. But one of the things that I feel you're very underrated for is your ability as far as your defense. You know, you're a very slippery type fighter, like you mentioned. Do you feel that you don't get enough credit for your defense?
I mean, I felt like at first, you know, people say, yeah, I just did. I was just an offensive fighter. You know, now people starting to see. I think I'm showing more of my game now. You know, because I'm stepping up in competition, and you have to do different things. So, you know, I think now I am getting the credit. I think I don't get as much as I deserve, but I still think I am getting the credit I deserve. I think I still get credit, you know, for being, you know, defensive. I don't want to be known as a defensive fighter, but, you know, my defense is on point, you know. So I think, you know, I'm getting the credit. I'm getting some credit, just, of course, not as much as I deserve. You know, the thing is, you know, early on in my career, you know, I was just knocking people out, you know, because I felt like that's what I had to do. I had to go out there and just put them out. And so I didn't really worry about defense because I know as soon as I hit somebody, I'm going to hurt them. And of course, as soon as I hurt them, you know, it's the beginning of the end. So that's kind of, you know, that was kind of my game plan going into the fight early in my career. Now, you know, I'm at, you know, of course, I'm at a higher level, and I know I can't take those punches. Like, you know, I could take the punches from the higher level opponents, but I shouldn't. You know, I don't need to, especially if it's not, you know, if I don't need to do it, why do it? You know, my coach tell me that all the time, you know, because I always, you know, in sparring, it's like I go to war with my opponents. I always go to war with my sparring partners and, you know, try to just out-bully them and out-strength them and, you know, do that type of stuff. But my coach always be like, bro, like, you don't have to do that, you know, just be slick. If you want, you don't have to get touched at all. And I showed that in my last fight. Against Relic, I did not get touched at all. I got hit one time after the bell, of course, you know, after the second round, the end of the bell in the second round, he caught me. But as far as, you know, of course, while the bell was going, I didn't get touched at all. And I showed that. You know, I didn't have to get touched at. I don't have to get hit. And so, you know, that's the main thing my coach tells me to do. You know, I don't have to fight. If I want to be slipper, I can.
And speaking of slick, I got Courtney Tanner online, and he's eager to ask you a bunch of questions. He's a huge fan as well. Courtney, I pass you the mic.
Regis Prograis, what's going on, man? Hey, thank you so much for being on the show with us.
Oh, no problem.
Before I get into the question, man, I just want to let you know that your post-fight interview in Lafayette a few weeks ago, that was priceless, man. That was must-see TV, and I think it's that enthusiasm in that in that aura that you're that you're emitting, and just the pride you take in entertaining the people is just endearing people to you, and is bringing you so much fans and so much of attention that's just past due, man. So we here on Pound for Pound, we just want to tell you to keep shining, man.
Cool, man. Thanks.
The question I had was, it basically was made. The big announcement was made today that Maurice Hooker and Jose Ramirez will be unifying the WBC and the WBO titles at 140. We know that you're a fighter that is you're never going to look past any opponent, and you're not going to get caught looking ahead. But we do know that when you came into this game, you came in with a lot of vision and basically a mandate to take the junior welterweight division by storm. So my question for you is, how do you what are your thoughts on that matchup?
I mean, I think it'll be a real good matchup. I really, my whole thing is I want to fight both of them, but of course now it's even better they fight. So, hopefully after the tournament, I can fight one of them. And as far as the matchup goes, I think that I give the edge to Ramirez. I mean, Hooker, the thing about Hooker, he gets up for big fights. Sometimes he looks shitty in some fights, but for the big fights, it looks like, he gets up for him. But I just can't see him. I really can't see him beat Ramirez. Of course, he has a big right hand, but I think that's the only weapon that he really has, just a big right hand. And Ramirez, of course, he's durable. He's a Mexican. He'll keep coming forward. He throws a lot of punches. So I really do think that I feel like it'll be a Ramirez over 12 rounds, unanimous decision.
Good deal. And I just got one follow-up question, and then I'll hand you back over to the panel. Basically, you like I said, you have a you've been given a great mandate at 140 to basically hold all four belts. Have you given much thought to when that mandate is completed, if or when the smoke clears and you're holding all four belts? Have you given much thought of where you would go from there, possibly moving up to 147, or do you think you'll hang around for a while at 140 and basically rack up a bunch of defenses and make your legacy at 140, or do you see yourself going up to 147?
No, I think 147. I think I'll definitely go up to 147. Of course, I feel like once you get all the belts at one weight division, I really don't think there's nothing else to do. Of course, they always gonna have. Just like Marvin Hagler did at middleweight, they're always going to have contenders coming up and, number one contenders and number two contenders coming up. But at the same time, once you get the belts, I feel like it's nothing else to do, unless they have some just really, really good fighters just coming out the blue and people want to see it. But, I feel like, once I get the belts, it'll be solidified. I am the best at one. I'm the best in the world at 140. Right now, I've been ranked number one in the world at 140 for a while. I'm a world champion and I'm ranked number one at 140. So, it's kind of, I already kind of have that title already, but of course, once I get all the belts, it'll definitely be solidified that I'm the best at 140, as far as right now at this time. But after I'm done, then I feel like I'll go to 147. I'll start looking at 147 because I just feel like it won't be nothing else to do unless it's a super fight at 140 that's waiting for me. Maybe some like a Mikey Garcia or Lomachenko, or something like that. But as far as I feel like after I got all the belts, it's time to go up to 147.
Who do you think's the best at 147 right now?
I think Errol Spence. It's definitely between Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence, but I still feel like it's Errol Spence. I feel like if they fought, I give the edge to Errol. I give the edge to Errol Spence. I think he's the best at 147 right now, but. With me saying that, I still think Terrence Crawford is like number one or number two. Not number one, but like number two or number three pound for pound right now. So, I look at them in high regard, both of them. But as far as if both of them fought, I think Errol will beat Crawford.
Great, that's excellent because a lot of people are still trying to answer that question. Hopefully, that fight happens at some point. So. Regis, we have a lot of our listeners and a lot of members in our Pound for Pound group on Facebook. They know that you were going to be on, so they posted up a couple of questions. I'm gonna transition over to Tommy. He's got those questions. He's gonna ask them really quick to you. Some of the fans obviously just want to get your insight on some of them. So Tommy, go ahead.
Yeah. What's going on, Regis? Great having you on, man.
No problem, bro. No problem.
Yeah, so we got a lot of people, big fans of you, man, and got some good questions for you. So one comes from Daryl Knott. He asked, how was the experience fighting Errol Spence in amateurs, and would you like to do it again at 147 in the future?
Yeah, of course. To answer that, yeah, I definitely would want to. I fought him twice in the amateurs. Of course, if people don't know, I fought in the amateurs at 152, and I lost both of the fights in the amateurs. The first time I fought him, it was state Golden Gloves, the final state Golden Gloves championship, and we was in Dallas. Of course, that was where that's where he from and stuff like that. And it was a 3-2 split. When I got out the ring, a lot of people thought I won. I actually felt that I lost. I felt like the judges did the right thing. They got the right decision. And then after that, he beat me by more points the second time. But of course, if we can do it when I go up to 147, if he's still there, then yeah, I can. I definitely will fight him.
Hey, like you said, if he's still there, what's your thoughts on that? Do you think he would move up before you get there?
I don't. Yeah, I really do. I think so. I know he's real big. For 147, he's real big. So, and I'm hearing maybe he might try to fight Canelo or something like that. Or I don't know. So if he's, like I said, if he's still I might be at 147 in the next year and a half. So, if he's still there, then yeah, of course. But it depends on it all depends on timing. If he's still there, if I'm when I'm going up or whatever, we'll see. Okay,
nice. So another question: what was said between you and Josh Taylor in the ring when you guys were facing off after Taylor's last fight?
I mean, it was just we were just jawing at each other. Basic fight talk shit. The first thing he said, he was like, like I hope you ready to go to war. I'm like, man, come on, man. I'm always ready. I said, you better be ready. And then I was just, we kind of talking shit to each other. I forgot most of the stuff was said. But I was just like, man, come on, bro. Like, look, I was like, you can't get hit like that from me. That's the main thing. I told him and his trainer, like, bro, you cannot get hit like that. Because if you get hit like that from me, you going to sleep. And I was like, bro, look at your eye. Like, come on, man, look at your eye. Like, look what I did your eye. So if he do that to your eye, imagine what I'm gonna do to it. And we were just, it was just talking back and forth to each other. That's all, just talking a little shit.
Hey, well, that's what we gotta do. We gotta talk a little shit now, especially if you're in the ring face to face. So I feel you on that, man. Another one, man, from Mark Eric McNair. Would you rather fight a Chris Algieri style fighter or like a Ruslan type?
For me, it don't matter. I know how to fight both of them. To be honest, yeah, I know how to fight. I know how to fight both of them, and I feel like I can knock both of them out. So I know how to fight both of them. It don't matter.
I heard that. All right, another one was, what do you think of the Cotto Ricardo Torres fight at 140?
What Cotto? I really don't even know what. I don't even know what that is, bro. To be honest, I don't even know what's going on with that. Cotto?
Yeah. Cotto Ricardo Torres fight.
Which Cotto?
Hey, we can skip that. He's saying Cotto Ricardo Torres.
I don't know, bro. I don't
if you don't even know him, then he ain't on. If you don't know him, then he ain't on your level, and that don't matter. So we can keep on rolling.
I
don't.
Man. Bro, I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, that fight was years ago.
Yeah. He threw a month out. You try to see what was up.
Oh man, you talking about? I'm thinking you talking about something now, like about to happen. I'm like, what? Miguel Cotto? That's what I thought you talking about, Miguel Cotto. But I'm like, bro, he's retired now, and he definitely can't fight in the 140. So, I know he ain't making the comeback. I know he ain't making no comeback. But and if he do, I know he can't be at 140. So yeah, I don't know. I ain't know what he's talking about.
No, man. But last one, if not for Hurricane Katrina, as bad as it was, do you think you'd be where you were today?
I won't. I absolutely believe in my mind 100%. I would not be where I'm at right now. Boxing really, I'm not going to say boxing saved my life, but like, bro, like I really live a dream, like a dream life. I really wake up and do what I want, and and it's because of boxing. So I don't know what I would be doing if it wasn't for boxing. A lot of people think, people say I'd be in the streets or something. I don't know. I couldn't tell you, but I know I wouldn't be where I'm at right now. Like I didn't travel all over the world. I didn't travel places I can't even name. I married a girl from Brazil. My kids speak different language. I speak a different language. Like I would never thought in my life like I would be able to do that. Like it's when I go back to my childhood and think about the way I came up, the way I was raised, in my environment, like I would never think that I would be in a position or in a predicament that I'm in right now. Like it's just so I love that Katrina happened to me. Of course, it was devastating, and it was billions of dollars, it damaged and it lost a lot of lives and stuff. But as far as myself, I'm glad that it happened because it brought me to Houston and it opened my eyes to a different life, and it just, and it made me want to just be hungry for boxing. And, I mean, like I said, if it wasn't for that, if it wasn't for Katrina, I wouldn't be where I'm at right now.
Man, absolutely, man. It's a wonderful, wonderful journey, and you came up in a big way, man, and we're all glad to see it. Last thoughts on the AJ and Ruiz fight.
Man, I was there. I was out there in New York. I mean, it's sad to see that. I'm glad for Ruiz. I was sad on both ends. I damn near dropped a tear. I don't know if you saw me on the Zone broadcast, but I actually said it. Like I almost dropped a tear because I felt it was both of joy and happiness. Definitely happiness for Ruiz. He went the underdog, and that's one of the biggest fights ever. That's one of the biggest upsets in boxing history. It definitely has a run for Buster Douglas and Mike Tyson. And but on AJ's part, just like y'all was saying earlier, he was like a global boxing superstar. Him and Canelo is like the only global boxing superstars that we have right now, I feel. Of course, and Manny Pacquiao. And, he just got knocked out like that, and it's just sad to see, it really is. It's just sad to see that, because just somebody that big and he just gets swept onto the floor just like that. And then on top of that, it's just real sad to see. For me, in my heart, I always believed that Deontay Wilder was the best heavyweight in the world. And, of course, now I think it's solidified that Deontay Wilder is definitely the best. People was comparing him to AJ, and I never felt like AJ can beat Deontay Wilder. But I still want to see the fight. Yeah, I still want to see the fight. And now, it just lost that much value, basically, because he did get knocked out. Of course, I think they still can fight maybe years down the line and, make a lot of money. But, it would have been way, way bigger if they would have did it now, or if that would have never happened to him. So, man, I was just, it's sad to see that. And, like I said, I don't want to take nothing from Ruiz, but I really felt like Joshua didn't take the fight serious. I really did. I felt like he was just so relaxed. I was looking at him. I don't know if I was the only one, but, as a fighter, I was looking at him in his corner before the fight, and he was just standing there just so relaxed and just chewing on his mouthpiece like, like he was about to watch the fight, like he was one of us, basically, so in the audience. And it just looked like, I don't know, it just looked like he thought it was going to be an easy night. And maybe he did train, or maybe you can't, like I said, you can't say what he did, if he did train, if he didn't train hard enough for the fight. But even if he did, he just looked, it's boxing. If people don't know, boxing is a mental thing. And even if he trained as hard as he can, mentally, it just looked like, of course, I don't know, but mentally, it just looked like he was just very, very relaxed in there and just thought he was about to walk through Andy Ruiz and, and he got knocked out, and Andy Ruiz made history, And the crazy thing is I was on the plane with him on the way back from New York to L.A., and, I just told him, bro, after we got off the plane, like, bro, you need to be blowing up, bro. Like, you need to go to Mexico. They need to have a parade for you. L.A., we need to have a parade for you, everything, because you really made history, So that's kind of my thoughts on that.
So, Regis, before you go, back to attending to your family, I wanted to ask you a question. And I know you're the type of guy, you're the type of guy to walk into a bar, you'll fight anybody. That's just how you are. That's your mindset. And I believe that's wholeheartedly one of the reasons why you're as good as you are, because you truly don't fear anybody. But if you had to pick a fight, let's call it a payday fight. If you had to pick a fight between you, Loma, or you and Mikey, or let's say you and AB, who would you fight? Who would you want to fight? If it was an equal pay for all three, who would you want to fight? And why would you want to fight that person?
Well, if it's equal for all of them, AB. I think I'll walk through AB real easy, to be honest. AB is an Adrian Broner. Oh, I think I'll walk through his ass for sure. Yeah, I think if I fight him, that's another big payday for me at 140. I'm glad you said that, because I always write AB up.
Because that's the fight, not to interrupt you, because that's the fight I want. I want you to fight AB. That's the fight I want, because I know the outcome of that fight. I know you beat him. I want to see you get paid.
That's not. Yeah. I'm not gonna beat him. I'm gonna hurt AB. Like, I think it'll be.
Now.
Like, I really think I can stop AB. Like, no, I think that it's gonna be worse than it'll be. Like, I'm a downer fight, but it's definitely gonna be worse. Because once I hurt him, I'm gonna keep hurting him. And I don't go in there. Like, for me, like, when I fight, I don't go in there to knock my opponents out. I go in there to hurt my opponents, if it makes sense. Of course, you're gonna knock them out, but I don't want. Like, for me, I don't want to go in there and like, say, go out in the first round and knock my opponent out, and then he get up in 10 seconds and he okay, or whatever, 20 seconds or even a minute, he all right. Like, when I fight, I'm trying to hurt my opponents. Like, when I hit their arms, I'm trying to, like, break their arms. When I'm hitting their shoulder, I'm trying to bruise their shoulder muscles. And wherever I hit them, I'm trying to hurt them. So I really feel like if I fight AB, I would hurt him. Like, I really feel like I would hurt him, I know Pacquiao didn't do it. Medina really did. He fucked them up. But I really feel like, I would hurt him. So, yeah, to answer that question, if it was equal payday, Mikey, I would definitely fight all of them. But, of course, if it was equal payday, of course, Adrian Broner. Adrian Broner, for sure.
Yeah. And I would definitely love to see that fight. And, hopefully one day it can be made.
Hopefully they make it.
Yeah, having said that, and correct me if I'm wrong, I believe that you're 30 years of age, and nowadays, in boxing, 30 years of age is nothing. It's still, very young. You got Triple G's fighting next week already at 37, and it seems like he's going to keep on going for another 4 or 5 years. So tell me, where do you think you'll be in the next 3 to 4 years? Like, let's fast forward 3 to 4 years from today, right? I know that your career, your entire life has taken off to many, many blessings. Where do you think you're going to be in your career, your boxing career, in the next 3 to 4 years? Because I know you're the type of guy that you have that vision.
You know what? The thing about me, I got the vision, but every time I would have a vision. Don't get me wrong, I have a vision, and then I break that vision to where it's bigger than what I expected. Like, that's the crazy thing, bro. Like, I wouldn't think I would be where I'm at right now. Like I said, last time I talked to you, I was in a 1 or 2 bedroom apartment. If you see the house I'm living in, it's fucking crazy. Like, a big crazy ass house. Like, I don't even know what
Regis,
to do.
If you extend an invite, we'll go over. If you extend an invite, we'll come over.
I might have to. If y'all in LA, y'all gonna have to come, bro. If y'all in LA, then y'all gonna have to come. But yeah, bro. Like, I mean, it's crazy to what, like, the stuff. All I know, my daddy always tell me, just all you gotta do is stay in the gym, keep improving, keep winning, and that's all I want to do. And when you do that, that's the secret right there. That's all you gotta do. That's the secret to success. Don't worry about nothing else. You stay in the gym, you beat everybody they put in front of you. You keep winning, you keep getting better, and that's it. And that's all I do. I keep doing that, because as far as, like, my goals, and I think about, I want this, I want that. To be honest, I can buy anything I want. If I think of anything I want right now, I can get it. Like, literally, whatever I want. Because I'm not a person that really care about a lot of things, but I'm just so free. I can really do what I want. I can go anywhere I want to. I can do anything I want. I can, like, have anything I want, all that stuff, So as far as my goals is to stay in the gym, keep winning, keep getting better, and beat everybody they put in front of me. And then, everything will come from there.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And obviously, we're big fans of yours. I mean, we keep praying that, your success level keeps on increasing, and that, many more blessings and more money and obviously health, more important than anything else to you and your family, as well. So I just want to find out from the panelists. Anybody else have questions for Regis? I don't want to take up too much of his time. I hear you. Keon, you're on the phone.
Corny, it's on you.
It's on me. Okay. Hey, okay, Regis. The zone, they had some footage, either I think it was before the fight where Daniel Cormier had come to your dressing room and showed you some love and dapped you up. And I was just actually wondering, have you two got to kick it, outside of the event, or on the or was that just a one-off meeting between you two?
Well, actually, as far as hang out, not yet. We usually text. We've been kind of texting since that. We've been talking to each other like real often, like almost every day, every other day. But actually, he's coming out here to LA, and we probably gonna spar. I think we're supposed to spar or something like that next week. So, of course, boxing. I'm not wrestling with his big ass, but we gonna box and stuff like that. Yeah, we're gonna spar and stuff like that we're supposed to spar next week or something. But yeah, real cool dude, Louisiana native, so we got that Southern hospitality type of thing going on with us too, and he got the same kind of attitude I got. So yeah, we're supposed to be sparring like next week or next 2 weeks or something like that.
So Regis, I got a question for you because I follow you on Instagram, and I noticed because I know you're married to a Brazilian. I'm half Brazilian myself. Does that have anything to do with the fact that you do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu?
Yeah, of course that does, because when I went there, I learned. Like when I went to Brazil, that's one of my partners, he's staying with me right now out here in LA. He's a MMA fighter, so he teach me some things, and I kind of want to learn it. I'm a fan of fights. I'm just a big fan of fighters, period. I don't care what they are. I'm just a big fan of fighters and fighting, period. So yeah, he been teaching me that. So yeah, that's kind of when I went there the first time I met him, and we got real cool and shit. Now he's staying with me right now in LA. So that's kind of a part. Yeah, the wifey got that hooked up.
That's nice. So we also got a big fan on right now, Keon. I want to introduce Keon really quick. I know he's got a couple of questions for Regis. Keon, are you on?
Yeah, I'm on. Hey,
Keon,
how
the
you
floor
doing,
is yours.
Regis?
Go ahead.
Congratulations on your big win in the semifinals. Good luck in the final. Obviously, you are the favorite against Taylor. I just want to know, with a win against Taylor, and you obviously, I know you look to unify the whole division with the winner of the Hooker and Ramirez fight. I just want to know, after you unify to 140, do you look to immediately move to 147? And do you want an immediate title shot at 147 after you unify the entire 140 division?
No, I mean, it depends on the offer they give me. Really, it depends on the offer. If after, Mikey Garcia doesn't have a belt at 140, Adrian Brown doesn't have a belt at 140, even if somebody like Lomachenko wants to come up to 140, we'll see. So it all depends on what's on the table for me. If I got something big at 147, then I'm gonna go up to 147. But if I got something big at 140, then of course, then I'm just gonna go ahead and stay at 140. So I really can't tell right now. It all depends on the timing and what's going on at that time.
Okay. So you do still feel comfortable making 140 for at least 3 or 4 more fights?
Yeah, of course. I'm definitely comfortable making it. But I do see myself going up to 147. I feel, and I actually have a plan before I go up to 147 as far as how I want my body to look and how I want my body to feel before I even go up to 147. So, but as far as making 140, then yeah, I'm, of course it's never easy, but it's, I don't struggle like most of them dudes do. Most of the fighters, they struggle and stuff like that, and I don't. Actually, last fight against Relic, I was asking to weigh in that morning because I was like, most of them dudes, they gotta go take a shit, or they gotta go pee, or they gotta go run and lose weight and all that stuff to dare to weigh in. And I don't do nothing. I'm sitting in my hotel room, like my last fight in Lafayette. The weigh-in was at 5 p.m. So I'm on weight in the morning time. So I'm sitting in the hotel room the whole day just looking at movies and stuff like that, just waiting to weigh in. And I told my manager, bro, can we get the weigh? Like, can I go weigh in right now? And so we try to ask Relic people, and of course they say no because he was still, trying to lose weight, his last couple of ounces or pounds or whatever he had to do. And I'm just sitting, So I make the weight. I'm never gonna say I make it easy, but I make the weight, and I can definitely do it for the next couple of fights.
Good. That's great, man. One last question. Not to ask you about anybody else, but I know you and the Charlos are really close. This way, you got an update. Have you talked to him since the fight with Harrison? Jamel, since the fight with Harrison got postponed, can you talk about his spirit?
No, I didn't talk to him. I ain't talked to him since the postponement. I was at the press conference with him and Harrison, and of course it was heated and it was going back and forth with each other. But as far as talking to him about that, I didn't talk to him.
Okay.
Keon, thanks for the questions, man. I appreciate it. That was awesome to have a fan on and obviously give you, ask questions and give you love. So, Regis, listen, I want to thank you again on behalf of the entire Standing 8 family, pound for pound, and all the listeners out there, and obviously your fans. We're excited to see you back in the ring again and to continue to watch you, just be successful as you have been. Thank you again for your time, and, we appreciate you taking your time from, your family to obviously be on. Hopefully we see you soon in L.A. I'd love to, we would all love to sit down with you and obviously chop it up as much as we can.
Y'all come to LA, let me know when y'all come. Come to the gym, come to the crib, and I'll show y'all around, So just let me know.
Absolutely. Regis, thank you one more time. I appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of the night, and God bless you and your family.
All right, man. Thank you.
And that was Regis Prograis. He's a fantastic boxer and even a better human being, as you can tell, just a great person. He was on our podcast back in 2017. Obviously his career has taken off even more, and to see him, come back, join us, take time from his family is a blessing in itself. So, guys, who do you want to see Regis fight next? Who's your dream matchup? Courtney, who would you want to see him fight?
Honestly, I'm kind of I know he doesn't look ahead, but I am. The fight I'm most looking for to see Regis Prograis fight is at 147 against Terrence Crawford.
Woo.
Bruh, I was about to say the same thing.
We got to.
Let's do
that
it.
happens. We got to be there to watch that fight. That's first and foremost.
Absolutely.
And when Regis does go up to 147, I think that is his most logical route to a belt. Realistically, when you look at the promotional and TV landscape, is a fight with Crawford at 147, and I think I think Crawford is low key looking down at 140 and kind of licking his chops, basically waiting for the person who's going to emerge with all four of the straps down there. It's such a logical progression to that matchup where Crawford held all four belts before he moved up, so he would naturally fight the person who had all four belts at 140 when they move up to 147. That's just a great storyline. That's just a natural progression. That's great TV.
And you're right, and it's a big payday for Regis as well. So I'm sure that he'll take that fight any day. And again, this is a guy who's not shy to take any fight. We all know that, the type of person and type of character that he is. That'd be an interesting fight, to say the least. For me personally, I'd like to see a fight with Mikey Garcia. That would be at 140, I'd like to see that fight come to fruition. And that would be an interesting fight because I think it's a tough fight for either or. And not because Regis was just on. I just think that he's matured so much as a fighter in the last 2 years. And I think that Mikey now is no longer scared of losing. I think that Regis wins that fight. I really do. But it'd be interesting because we don't know. I mean, there's talks that Mikey's going to stay at 147, but I just can't see Mikey beating anybody well, not anybody. I just can't see Mikey beating any of the top 4 or even 5 guys at welterweight. I really have a hard time believing that he can beat Keith. Have a hard time. We know he can't beat Iro, obviously. I have a hard time believing that he can beat even Sean Porter, Danny Garcia. And I don't think, and not that I don't think, I know he cannot beat Manny either. So it's like, where does he go? Where does Mikey go from there? Does he go back to 140 and maybe entertain a fight against Regis? And that's a dangerous fight for him, right? Because Vegas is going to have Mikey as the betting favorite. But I can see him losing the fight. So Mikey's in dangerous, uncharted water right now because he doesn't know. I don't think he knows where he's going to go. In the past, he'd win a fight, move up, win a fight, move up. Now it's different. Like, he can't move up. If he goes back down, he's got to fight him. But he's also at the point of his career that Mikey just wants to get paid, or he should be getting paid. So a fight against Manny Pacquiao should be lined up. A fight against, Keith Thurman should be lined. If that's me. If I'm Mikey, especially after taking that hiatus, after battling in court for so many years with Golden Boy, Bob Arum rather. That's what I would, that's what I would be doing. But who knows? But let's talk about what we just saw this weekend. Let's talk about, and I'm going to let you in, Tommy. Let's talk about the 11-1 odds, which Andy Ruiz was, and he won. He stunned the world. It was not the biggest heavyweight division upset, but one of the biggest, top 3 ever. Buster Douglas, I think, was 42-1 odds. What was your take, Tommy, in that fight? Like, were you shocked like everybody else?
I was surprised as far as how Ruiz actually looked in the fight. Not that, I was surprised in his skill because, we know that he has the skill, but just how impressive it ended up looking. Don't get me wrong. I wasn't as surprised as far as what happened with AJ. This is something that we've known. We've known that he gasses out. We've known that, his chin can be a little suspect. And so
don't be a hater, Tommy. Don't be a hater.
Hey, no, bro. Because at the same time, what the stance is on the Cold War between where you at and where we at too. So we know what that is. But hey, we've seen it, and the fact that Ruiz did what he did, I didn't expect that from him, but I can't say that I didn't see something like that able to happen to AJ, and that's the issue, and that's where like what we've talked about all of this whole entire time. That everybody's talking about AJ Wilder. Like, it is absolutely clear right now that he would get baptized if he stepped and when he steps in that ring with Wilder. So, nah, man. It's 2 different sides of the story. Surprised a little bit with Ruiz because, yes, I expected AJ to win. But, just after that 3rd round where AJ scored that knockdown and Ruiz came back and knocked him down twice, he took that man's soul, man. So all of these excuses, all of these rumors, the concussion, the knockout, and sparring, dude, he did not want it in that ring.
I'm gonna go to Courtney. Courtney, I'm sorry, I think I interrupted you before. We'll get back to that topic again. But what did you think about the fight? Do you think a rematch happens, even though it's pretty much almost confirmed verbally that it's going to happen? And where do you think it's going to happen? Give us your insight on the fight and what you think is going to happen on a rematch.
The rematch is most definitely happening. As far as because it lines up 3 ways. Eddie Hearn has already said the rematch is happening. AJ has already said he definitely wants the rematch, and Andy Ruiz is definitely trying to get that payday. Andy Ruiz knows there's potentially. There could be up to $50 million. He's coming and asking for $50 million. I think he's asking that much, knowing he's damn sure not going to get $50 million, but he's going to try to get as close to that mark as possible. And with 3 of the 4 major belts around his waist, He definitely has the leverage as far as asking, because he has the commodity that AJ now desperately wants back. And not only AJ desperately wants back, but a nation of Great Britain wants. They want those belts to come back across the aisle. I'll say this, though, about Saturday's fight, man. Seeing that performance by AJ and seeing that display put on by Andy Ruiz, that completely destroyed the idealization I had of AJ in my mind. I think a lot of it was, I'm such a Wilder fan. I'm such a Deontay Wilder fan that in my mind I sculpted AJ as having to be that guy, because the rivalry, just that being the fight that everybody wanted to see at that time, it was just in place in my mind that AJ was really that good. AJ was really that challenge for Deontay Wilder, and that has permanently blown that notion up for me. I can say completely, I no longer believe that. When AJ first turned pro, I was actually on record as saying that I believed AJ was probably going to be the greatest British fighter ever to grace the ring. I'm completely sitting in that and having my face rubbed in it. Roy Bennett, shout outs. I'm completely embarrassed at having said that. I sound completely casual, but that performance, that basically, I think that's shaken up a lot of people's worlds. I'm gonna make three real quick points about AJ in that fight. Number one, the writing was on the wall when he moved his training camp to South Beach, Miami. Like that is not the same Fifth Street gym that Ali trained at. That was nothing but distractions all across the board.
Not even in the same location.
Whoever signed off on that as a good idea on AJ's team, they did him a grave disservice. Okay, and secondly, Andy Ruiz, all props, all credit to him. He fought like a man who knew he was going to be underestimated, and that was his game plan. His entire game plan going into that fight was to be underestimated. He knew that AJ was not necessarily going to overlook him, but he was kind of looking through him. And I think AJ kind of. I think whatever he game planned for Jarrell Miller, I think he kind of thought Ruiz was going to come in and fight that style or that type of fight, and Ruiz proved him dead wrong. The third point is, I think in the rematch, AJ is going to knock Ruiz Stark out. Because the thing is, it's already on the canvas that he can and is capable of doing it. You know what I'm saying? The way he sat Andy Ruiz's ass down in the third round, he was basically two or three punches or a combination away from us not even having this conversation right now. So I think this is definitely a Buster Douglas type situation where Andy Ruiz has shocked the world. Andy Ruiz is going to cash in on a tremendous amount of money, and that's going to be it. I think the fight is going to go back to the UK. It's going to be too cold as far as weather-wise for them to do that outdoors at Wembley Arena. It's probably going to be held in Cardiff, Wales, at the Millennium Stadium, where the national rugby team plays their games on that pitch, and that's going to be it. I think lastly, before I hand it back, I think this could arise a very, very interesting and complex situation where I think it's very possible and not beyond the pale that we could see AJ beat up Andy Ruiz and get his belt back. I also don't think it is beyond reason that in the rematch, between Wilder and Fury, Wilder doesn't find that right hand like he found it in that first fight. I think if anybody at heavyweight was going to get Fury, it was in December when he was at his most vulnerable. If you've seen Fury now, the dude is built like an NBA power forward, and he is as daft on his feet as a welterweight. That is going to be an insanely tough proposition for anybody who comes against Fury. I'm bomb squad down to the socks. But I have serious doubts whether Wilder can find that right hand again on Fury. And if he cannot, then this time next year we could be talking about AJ Fury for everything at heavyweight. I want people to marinate on that and digest that. I'm off the mic.
And let's not forget that Deontay did find him with the right hand, and he got up. Despite the fact that I know D-Rock's about to get in. Despite the fact that D-Rock's about to cut in and let us know that it was 10.2 seconds. If I have 37 minutes to get up, I get up too. Fuck it. No, but D-Rock, I'm going to give you the floor. Go ahead. No, I want to talk about with all respect to the competitors in this big fight with Anthony Joshua and Andy Ruiz. One of my favorite elements of the fight was that a lot of people don't know. Damn, I sound like Donald Trump. Andy Ruiz was offered this fight about 2 years ago for $30,000, and was able to reject that fight, make $7 million, and rumors are that he bet $200K on himself at 12-1. So he had a pretty nice payday. We all know he's not going to get that $50 million he's asking for, but he's going to get a lot more. Talking about the fight itself, how do I put it? If this makes any sense, I wasn't expecting it, but I'm not surprised. Andy Ruiz is a fighter that you can argue is undefeated and took this fight on a short notice against a guy with similar body size, maybe not, maybe not as physically strong as Anthony Joshua, but Timochenko, if I'm not mistaken, was another big 6'7" guy who he went in there and handled pretty easily. My thing is, that was the ultimate showcase of styles make fights. Andy Ruiz, we all know throws a lot of combinations, punches and bunches, good combinations. And to Courtney's point, after he got knocked down, he didn't look hurt. He didn't look really hurt. He looked stunned because, that happens after knockdown, but he looked ready to go. And he was able to slip a few big right hands from Anthony Joshua and those two left hooks immediately right after that were able to stun Anthony Joshua. I do think that the outcome of this fight does make the rematch interesting, and not from a sense of who I predict is going to win. I do think Anthony Joshua would pull out the victory, but he has to go in there and give everything. He can't fight. He can't sit there and box because flat out he can't outbox Andy Ruiz, and we've seen that. He doesn't have to. He can't. What he needs to do, and I've seen that immediately after the fight, he needs to get another year in his training camp to kind of switch up his style. And people have noted for a long time now that Anthony Joshua fights straight down the middle. 1-2s, uppercut, very little head movement, trying to impose his size and will on his opponent. Now, Andy Ruiz fights the way where he knows he's going to have to take a punch to get in against a bigger fighter, and he's not afraid to throw himself. I don't think Anthony Joshua necessarily underestimated the skill of Andy Ruiz, but he underestimated the punching power that Ruiz possessed. As far as notions for future matchups, Anthony Joshua is not getting up from a right hand from Deontay Wilder. That we can almost guarantee it. And CT, I'm gonna call you out a little bit because a few weeks ago, if I'm not mistaken, you weren't saying the same thing about the Fury Wilder rematch. I think you were saying that he was running for his life from the right hand, which I still think he is, or at least giving himself some time to recover. Let's remember that Wilder didn't hit Fury flush at all in that fight. And a lot of talk has been had about who's the number one heavyweight, where do we rank Fury, and I'm going to say what I've been saying for a while. Listen, Fury doesn't have any belts.
He has 4 fights in 4 years. He has no claim to any title, and he got his ass put on the ground by Bomb Squad, right? And for anyone who argues,
he also outboxed. Outboxed Bomb Squad for 10 rounds.
He did.
After climbing down a mountain of coke, and God knows what else he did to his body.
You can't say he did outbox Wilder.
No, I'm not saying he didn't outbox him, but there's a lot of stupidity going around that Tyson Fury won 10 rounds. And anyone who says that Tyson Fury won 10 rounds was not watching that fight objectively. Because
he didn't win 10 rounds, but he won that fight.
Well, that's an opinion, and the judges obviously saw something different.
Unofficially.
No, he got the home cooking. He got a home cooking. That's what happened. He got home cooking. That's all.
I'm not saying it was a robbery. No.
But,
you know what I'm saying? In my opinion, is Fury deserved that nod in that fight. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
If we're being objective.
When there are swing rounds as there were in the first 3 to 4 rounds, there's no such thing as Tyson Fury outboxing for 10 rounds. Both of those guys went in there and fought the exact fight we thought they would do. They would, and the outcome was exactly what we expected. Anyone who thinks that Tyson Fury won 10 rounds should stop watching boxing because he was making one.
No, the outcome wasn't.
Okay.
The outcome wasn't what we expected.
According to 3 professional judges, it was a draw.
Come on, and according to 3 professional judges, according to one, Canelo had beaten Triple G by miles. I mean, we're not going to go by what judges do.
I knew Adelaide was coming up.
I mean, but Adelaide wasn't on the.
So let me ask you this, D-Rock. Let me ask you this. If I told you, all right, that Tyson Fury, who only had a couple of fights in 4 years, who was going to come into a fight against Deontay, all right, get knocked down twice, and almost, if you watch the replay, he almost does put Deontay down in the 12th round after getting up like the Undertaker. Would you have believed it?
Well, Luis Ortiz almost put Deontay Wilder down too, and look what happened.
Yeah, but Deontay didn't knock him out. That was in moments after the guy looked like he was going to be in a body bag. That's the difference.
So let me ask you this. We're sitting here, not you in particular, but a lot of people are sitting here discrediting Deontay Wilder or he got outboxed. How come nobody's crediting him for not going down and sticking to his game plan and putting the guy down?
We also got a guy who hasn't been in a ring for a long time. Listen, do you think? Let me ask you something realistically, without being subjective whatsoever. Do you think Tyson Fury is going to be a better opponent the second time around, or a lesser of an opponent now that he's gone into the ring, gotten the best of Deontay, and now has time to prepare, and actually now is in much better shape?
He's got
Fury's about to be a fucking problem.
But he's already a problem. Obviously, he's already a problem. Obviously, but as his improvements are coming, you don't think Wilder's are either?
No, I don't think so.
I think the key element that was missing from Wilder in that fight was the jab. I don't know if he abandoned the jab or he felt that it wasn't going to be effective, or just strategically Fury took it away. But I think if you really watch Wilder and really follow his performances, I think that was a very stark surprise in that fight, and that or that basically adds a wrinkle that Wilder's jab is a really key ingredient to what sets up a lot of that big right hand. And when it wasn't there, that was a stark difference in how Wilder looked. And basically the complexion of that fight.
Guys,
but can we all?
Hold on. B-Rock, I got Eddie Sanchez on the line right now, and I want to give him the proper introduction. Guys, Eddie Sanchez, welcome him back. He's one of our Vivid fans, and we're also Vivid fans of his.
Future legend.
The future legend.
What's up, guys? Hey, what's up, Sandy? Hey, I appreciate you guys so much, man, for your love and support, man. I really, really appreciate it. I'm glad I'm back with you guys right here.
Hey, Eddie.
Excellent. Eddie, tell us about your upcoming fight. I'm going to ask D-Rock, you go ahead. You can go ahead and talk.
No, does Anthony Joshua get up from a right hand from Wilder? That's what I'm asking. I'm still heated right now.
Wilder got some power, man. I gotta say no.
All right, thank you. All right, now we're gonna move on to Eddie. Eddie, let's talk about you and your next fight. We're glad to have you back on. Talk to us.
Man, June 15th, Pico Rivera at the Pico Rivera Arena. We're ready, man. Training camp is great. We put in all that was necessary. We were out for a good long while, man. We were having a little bit of issues, but now we got the opportunity, and I'm gonna go out there and perform.
And I'm sure Aaron and a couple of guys are going to be there live, cheering you on and watching you put another victory under your belt. How are you training from this fight? Is it any different from your other fights? I do see that you seem to be a lot leaner today than you were a couple of months ago. What are you doing differently in the gym, Eddie?
Yeah, it's just the nutrition, man. We're really sticking to my nutrition and pushing that extra, the extra mile, pushing that extra round, putting that extra effort into training. I mean, we're being really disciplined, real focused. I mean, I don't really want to talk too much about the last fight, but, one thing if I got to criticize myself was I was being a little over aggressive. So I'm talking about this one right now, and I'm gonna be myself. I'm gonna box. I'm gonna be smart, and if I have to bang it out, I will. But I'm gonna be myself, man, and be that smart boxer. Training camp has been just great sparring and then great strength. I mean, everything's been a little bit. It's been the same, but just picked up a bit more.
And I know you don't want to talk about your last fight, but can you tell us what you've learned from your last fight and how it's helped you prepare now better, not just physically but mentally for this fight?
If I learned anything, well, no, I did, I would say. But what I learned was, for one, for sure, is that judges won't always be on your side, man, because to this day I just don't agree to a 40-36 fight, man. I've been fighting for a long time, and to see those scorecards is a bit embarrassing to me, and it hurts, to see that. But I learned that I gotta be sharper, I gotta be smarter. I can't give nothing that the judges might count as a point, But other than that too, is be myself, man, because I feel like if you ever go watch my first fight when I fought the same guy, I was a lot smarter. I was using my jab. I was keeping my distance. And this fight, the first round, I go out there and I throw a leaping left hook. Just show the aggressive attitude that I had. Every time he wanted to throw combinations, I felt like I was there for him. And so that's the only thing that I can criticize myself for. This time it's going to be a lot more smarter boxing.
And shying away a little bit from boxing, congratulations is in order. I believe you're having another baby boy, or you're having a baby boy. I think you announced it earlier this month, or rather in May. How's the family? How's family life? How are you able to, keep that balance?
Yeah, no, definitely. I'm having another boy in September 5th, the due date. So I'm just truly blessed, man. I'm growing as a man and a family. We're growing. Boxing and the boxing and the family. My wife, she understands my lifestyle, man. She supports me. We have a lot of times where I'm away from home really all the time, and she's there for me 100%. So it's a big sacrifice, man. It's still been a sacrifice, but we know that at the end, it's gonna be rewarding. And right now, all that is just fuel. Sometimes they say, having children can slow you down. I disagree. I think that's just fuel to the fire, man. Because I'm that much more hungry to go out there and give my family a great future one day. Yeah,
and absolutely, we're definitely pulling for you. Obviously, we always send you love, and you always send us love back. We always love having you on. And I know the guys, obviously, I'm not in the West Coast, so I don't have the luxury to see some of your fights, live. I get to see it on TV or YouTube. But that's, we appreciate, everything you do for us. And, we try to support you as much as we can. And hopefully I get to see a fight live. I got to go to the West Coast to meet everybody soon. Courtney keeps coming to the East Coast, so I got to go to the West Coast.
Yeah, Bobby. And one day I'll probably fight out there too in New York. Yeah. But no, man,
that would be
I appreciate you. Like I said at the beginning, you guys are amazing. You guys are a huge blessing in my life. It's amazing how you guys have grown as well, man. So I got to give you guys props, man. And I'm happy for you guys, and I pray that you guys continue to be successful, man. Because you guys are doing big things.
Yeah, we appreciate that. We especially appreciate that coming from you. Aaron, I know Aaron is on. Obviously, Aaron, you are pretty tight. He's got a question for you. Aaron, you got the mic, baby.
Hey, thanks a lot, Michael. Hey, Eddie, how you doing tonight?
I'm good, man. I'm done with training.
Great. Earlier this year, there was a period of time where you held weekly training sessions for volunteers and kids. Are you still doing that? And also, do you foresee yourself being a full-time trainer in the long run? Is that one of your plans ahead?
In the future, yeah. I'm not doing it right now anymore. It got too much with my training and then work and everything. It was a little bit too hard to deal. It was just like overfilling my plate. Unfortunately, I couldn't continue. But I loved it. I loved the way everybody would come in and just wanted to get a workout from me. They'd be coming the next day. Oh yeah, man, Eddie give us some sick workouts, and they're all fired up, going out to their friends and letting them know. But one day I pray that I can do that, man. I hope that I can do that for everybody. But unfortunately, my schedule is very, very tight. I mean, like I mentioned earlier, honestly, I only get like 2 hours tops a day with my family, so it's very hard, man. I don't got a lot of time on my hands.
That's what's up. That's what's up. And also, we know this, but not many of our listeners don't. Tell us about, if you can, give us a brief summary about your relationship with Jason Glaspie, how you guys started, and your current journey so far as of now.
Yeah, no, definitely. Coach Jason, he opened up a gym here in Corcoran, California, and he when I first stepped in there, we're just talking about it right now, man. He just fell in love with the way I had a fast hand, and I just had that desire. And then, he was saying, and when I had my first fight, the way I was able to push myself to a victory, that's what made him catch his attention to me. But ever since then, man, he's been a huge part of my life. I see him like a father figure in my life. I didn't have my dad. He left us at an early age, and Coach Jason has me, and he's always guided me and helped me inside and outside the ring. So he's a great person in my life.
That's what's up.
I was going to say that we also got Courtney on the line, and he's got a couple of questions for you. Courtney Tanner.
Hey, what's up, Courtney?
Eddie, what's going on, man? Future legend. What is good, man? Hey, thank you so much for coming on with us, man.
No, thank you, man. I appreciate it, man, and I appreciate you always giving me shout-outs like that, man. It really, really motivates me, man.
Hey, super excited that you're gonna be getting there. Where we finally get to see you after a long layoff, and as far as your opponent on the 15th, I don't know who it is. But what I do know is that they're in for it. I feel bad for them, man, because people don't realize you are coming, and a minor setback is only a setup for a major comeback, man. And we're not even calling it a comeback, man. This is just another path on the road to greatness, man. My question for you is your opponent in your first two fights. It's 1-1. Will there be a trilogy?
Yeah, definitely. I would love to get that rematch. Matter of fact, we told them right after the fight. It's funny because right when we beat them, I mean, you guys saw, you guys were there. I beat him fair and square, dropped him and everything. And even then, later on, they started saying, like, hey, man, that was a controversial loss. I want the rematch. And I was like, what? So, that's what we ended up getting the rematch. But not really, that wasn't the reason, because we couldn't get no other fight, so we ended up taking that one. But when that fight happened, at the end, we told him right away, say, hey, man, we got to get the third one. And they just kind of laughed and giggled and say, nah. And I was like, all right, whatever then. But we just kind of let him enjoy that victory. But if I've been watching his career as well, man, and he hasn't fought either. So, as long as we both, try to stay busy, I definitely want to see him in the future. But for right now, I definitely want to get see other opponents, see other styles, and just build my record. And I definitely want to see him, though. I would love to get that rematch, because I beat myself all the time up, telling myself that I think I beat myself, man, because that day I felt like I wasn't fighting the way I fight. I was fighting an aggressive me, and that's not me.
Most definitely, man. Now, for this fight, it's a bit of a change of scenery. Your first two fights, they were fought, in your home region, the Central Valley. Now you're transitioning down to a little more of a vibrant fight scene down in SoCal or Southern California. Can we expect to see you spread it out, a little more in future and upcoming fights? Or, are we going to see you fight in different regions? Maybe take it out of state. Or are you thinking about going back to the Central Valley, where you have a big following and a growing following up there? And also, are you with a new promoter, or are you still with the same people who brought you out?
Yeah, no. I really want to stay busy. As a matter of fact, I don't really want to get ahead of myself. But I'm actually with another promoter right now that I went to for this fight, and they were talking about possibly, managing my career after this fight. God willing, I get the victory, more doors will open. I mean, I'm ready, man. I'm ready to travel. I'm ready to fight. This is what I wanted to do. So I would love to be fighting out of state. I would love to be fighting out south more, where there's more eyes, and also be able to build a fan base. Expand my fan base. Here at home, everybody's really, really supportive, man. I got a big group going out there to LA as well, so it's just it motivates me that much more to see how much support I get. But no, man, we really want to stay busy, and we have to travel. I would love to travel, man.
That's good stuff, man. That's good stuff. All right, final question. We got one coming from the control panel. They want to get your reaction to the last Saturday's fight between Andy Ruiz and Anthony Joshua.
I'll be honest, man, 100%. I wanted my boy Andy Ruiz to win, but I didn't believe he was gonna win, man. But I was shocked. First two rounds were pretty competitive and pretty good. But when I seen Joshua land that left hook, the way he landed, it was like, man. And that's another thing too. I want to say that's props to the trainer Robles or something like that. I feel like that because they said they had a strategy to come in 20 pounds heavier. I was like, man, if that guy would have been 20 pounds lighter, would he been able to take that shot the way he did? And I thought it was maybe the perfect strategy to be able to take that left hook that he got with. I also found kind of weird the way Anthony Joshua, like the whole fight was, walking into the ring. And I know we've seen already videos, probably everybody talking about it, but the way he was playing with the mouthpiece and stuff, I found it kind of like, man, he was too relaxed. I do feel like he had overlooked or underestimated Andy Ruiz. But I'm excited. I'm happy. The first Mexican heavyweight world champion. I mean, I'm happy for him, man. It was a good night for him, and I was happy for him. But I was shocked, to be honest.
Well, thanks a lot, Eddie. I'm gonna hand you back to the rest of the panel, man. But on a personal note, man, I just want to say that thank you so much for your support of the Standing 8 podcast. And it's like one of those things, man. Day one, you've been sticking with us, and so naturally we stick with you, man. And we look forward to many more years of a fruitful partnership with you, and it's basically covering the great things that you do inside and outside the ring. Congratulations on the expected arrival of your second son, man, and I hope that God continues to bless you and touch you and allow you to touch other people, man. Best of luck and kick some ass out there, man.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, for those that want to know when Eddie's fight is, it's coming up June 15th. Is that correct, Eddie?
Yeah, next Saturday, June 15th, Pico Rivera Sports Arena.
That's awesome. And for those that want to follow Eddie, you can go on Instagram, look up his handle. It's Eddie Sanchez with a Z, 1992. He's a great dude, and he's a great boxer, and he's a very, very humble individual. So he's got the trifecta. Eddie,
yeah, thank you guys. Thank you.
Let us know, what's after your next fight. I'm actually expecting to go out. I told Aaron actually that after July I'm looking to go to Cali. Definitely one of the people I want to meet is you. Apparently now we have a free invite to go hang out with Regis Prograis at his house. So he doesn't know it, but I'm taking him up on that.
I'm
there.
there.
We're gonna take him up on that offer. And then you also got Anthony Sedania, who I know you know who it is. Definitely want to meet up with him. So we definitely all gotta link up soon. I'll let you know when I'm gonna make that trip. Hopefully Courtney or somebody else, D-Rock. If we can make that trip together, that'd be great. Aaron, obviously you live there, so you have the luxury of that SoCal boxing community. But Eddie, it's always a pleasure to have you on, and I know we're gonna have you on another 100 times in the future. So, God bless you. We're looking forward to watching you June 15, and obviously we wish you nothing but success and great health, and hopefully you pull out that victory, which we know you are. That your opponent's got his hands full for that night.
Thanks, man. I really appreciate it again, you guys, and thank you for letting me be here tonight again.
All right, have a good night, Eddie. We'll talk soon.
Yeah, bye-bye.
D-Rock's not on because he's going to get a handful. So I want to go back to that that AJ versus, not AJ, I'm sorry, Deontay versus Fury. My point is, I got to agree with you, Courtney. I just think that after abusing your body the way Tyson Fury abused his body, there's no way that he's not going to be a better boxer this time around, looking even more sharp and more crisp, which he did the first fight, by the way. He did. And my thing is, the fact that he was able to take Deontay's best punch, obviously he got knocked down, but be able to get up. And it's like he looked a little bit wobbly for like 2 seconds, but then he put the pressure right on Deontay. And it didn't seem like Deontay had much of an answer for him in that 12th round. If you guys have the opportunity, watch the replay right after the knockdown. It seemed as if Fury didn't miss a beat. So it's going to be, I have to agree with you, it's going to be tough. I honestly think that Deontay's going to have his hands full with Ortiz. I think that he wins. I think that he knocks Ortiz again out. But I think he has his hands full. I think you might see the same replay as the first fight where Ortiz is beating him, is outboxing him. And then Deontay comes in because he does have that one. He's got a magnificent right hand. He's got an exceptional right hand. I'm not going to take that away from him. But we've seen that he's gotten outboxed twice, with Ortiz and obviously with Tyson. And I after watching AJ fall the way he fell and to Andy Ruiz, I have to say that Tyson Fury, and I know that D-Rock's, his case is that Tyson has no belts. You don't have to be belts to be dubbed the best fighter in the heavyweight division. To me, he is by far the best, fighter in the heavyweight division. And I thought he was just coming back and being a clown, and he's not. And you see that he's taking his craft serious right now. He really is. He's in excellent shape. Has anyone seen him in the last couple of weeks? Like, he's in shape.
Like I like I said earlier, the dude is built like an NBA power forward right now. Like Tyson Fury, hey, that boy he a problem. He a problem.
I know we're supposed to also recap the Deontay Brazil fight. I mean, there's not much to recap. The fight ended, before I could make a cup of coffee.
Not much to recap. 30 seconds of footage.
Yeah, exactly. I couldn't even make a cup of coffee, so I don't know how much of recapping we're going to do. Ding, 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 a couple of punches, and then Deontay hits him with that right hand and knocks him out. That's pretty much it. And then, I'm just glad that they both, basically left their problems in the ring, because there was issues going on before the fight where apparently, and Deontay has come out and put this to rest, but apparently Deontay had threatened Brazil's family. Deontay has come out and said that's not true, and that they created that for PR. Whether it's true or not, I don't know. But it seems like that's squashed in the ring, and that's the end of it. So, hopefully, there's no issues in the future between fighters. And, you never want to watch or see fighters get into squabbles outside of the ring. It's not good for the community, and it's not good for their pockets either. And, even though they're boxers and they're in there to, basically beat each other up, at the end of the day, they have to be role models as well. They have to learn that. Let's talk about Deontay's upcoming fight in September against Luis Ortiz for the second time. Tommy, what's your reaction to this fight? Do you want to see it again? Because I do. And who do you think wins?
Yeah, I don't mind seeing it again, especially with the landscape the way it is right now. And I think Bomb Squad, I do not see Ortiz getting Wilder in the trouble that he got him in like the last time. I see a different fight. I don't see a Dominic Brazil fight, but I still see somebody getting baptized, and especially following what happened with AJ, I think that the time to shine right now, and especially with somebody like Ortiz that did show him some trouble, the time to shine is right now, and that he's about to hit him with a diamond right in his face.
Well, Ortiz is the only boxer in the heavyweight division actually, came very close to knocking Deontay out, or even close. Some could argue that the ref could have stopped the fight. There is a small community out there of boxing casuals and pundits that believe that the ref could have been justified if he did stop the fight. So that'll be interesting, because we all know that Luis Ortiz is the better boxer. That doesn't necessarily mean he's going to come out with the victory.
And now as you would age him, he's like about 67 now.
There's
Easily
no proof.
60.
There's no proof. A lot of people. Hey.
Courtney's about to make
I'll go ahead, man. A lot
Courtney.
of people are riding this narrative that this dude is 50 years old, but nobody has produced a birth 67, man. This is really starting to sound like the Obama birther controversy, man. Like, I'm saying, if the dude, if for all intents and purposes, if the United States has processed him when he came into this country as being 39 years old, then damn it, we're gonna take him as 39. But the Rick Glazers of the world. Saying they went down to this the Cuba and were told by some judging officials, babies' mamas, next door neighbors, cousins, kindergarten classmate that this dude was 50 or 60 years old. Like, I'm not buying that. That's not concrete.
It's not only Rick though. There are a couple of people out there, including a couple of boxers too.
But nobody has come with any proof.
Well, you're right. No physical evidence, but there's been a lot of controversy regarding Ortiz as far as being older, as well as Rigondeaux. As far as I tell you right now, both of them definitely look older than their age. That's for sure. As far as Ortiz, there is a video of apparently a friend of his confirming that he is older than 40 years old. Now whether that's just him coming out for publicity to make some money, Nobody knows. But there is actually a video out there, and I can send it to all of you, everybody, of a guy who claims that he went to school with Luis Ortiz and claims that Luis Ortiz is 4 years older than what he's claiming he is. So I don't know. So Deontay might be fighting an 80-year-old.
67.
I think it's not unreasonable to say that these guys are older than what's being reported, but I think it's by 2 to 3 years tops. I don't think it's anywhere as drastic as Luis Ortiz is like in his 50s, or as some people are saying. I think that's a bit extreme. But I mean, if it comes out that Luis Ortiz is 2 or 3 years older than what he's reported now, which would make him in his early 40s, I don't think that's beyond the pale.
Well, he's 40 now. So, I mean, Deontay's fighting a 40-year-old who's still, in my opinion, a top 3. In my opinion, he's still a top 3, top 4 boxer in the heavyweight division. We can argue that he's probably better than AJ. And even before he lost to Deontay, there was plenty of argument that Luis Ortiz was in the top 2, as far as boxers in the heavyweight division. So, I mean, listen, who knows? He might come out and beat him. As
far as skill set, I think as far as fighters that possess skill set, in that top 10 at one a heavyweight, I think the argument can be made that Ortiz is now the second most skilled heavyweight out there. I think Fury is. He made a strong case in that fight against Wilder that Fury is the most skilled heavyweight out there. But I mean, for Ortiz to be regarded as the most or the second most, I think that says something. As far as the rematch with Wilder, though, I think he's going to present difficulties in spots for Wilder. But I think since that fight and even leading up to the first fight against Wilder, I think Ortiz has drastically slowed down from where he was. And even at his prime, those impressive performances as he was climbing the ladder as a contender, there's asterisks by those because the multiple doping suspensions that he incurred. So I mean, with Ortiz, it's really tricky to pin down. There's a lot of intangibles. Is he as young or as old as people claim that he is or isn't? How long and to what extent did his doping have as far as an effect on his career? And basically his ability to inflict a lot of damage and look that impressive against some of the lower tier guys as he was coming up. So I mean, I think there's a lot of intangibles, and they're going to be answered as Ortiz is further along as a top 10 heavyweight, also in the rematch, and we'll see how much effect the beating that Wilder put on him in that first fight ultimately has, as far as how much he's got left in the tank.
We also got to check his blood pressure level. It might be rising right before the fight. Well, let's see. I mean, September, that fight's coming up. I'm actually a lot. You know what pisses me off? What pisses me off is a lot of people are like, I don't want to see that fight. I hear a lot of people like, I think even Rick Glaser wrote that why are we getting that fight again? What do you mean why are we getting that fight again? This is the first guy who gave Deontay problems. Like, this guy was on a cusp of beating Deontay. Of course I want to watch that fight again. I want to watch it again. Again, like, we're dismissing him, or when I say him, or Luis Ortiz, as if he's insignificant in the boxing world. Like, this guy is a good, well, I'm not even going to say he's a great boxer. He's a great boxer. Like, this is a very skillful, like you said, Courtney, a very skillful boxer. And I agree with you. I put him at number 2. Tyson Fury, for his size, height, to be able to be as slick as he is, I mean, that speaks volumes for me in the heavyweight division. So I have to put him at number 1, and I have to put Luis Ortiz number 2 as far as skill set. But let's see. I mean, it is a 40-year-old, according to paper. It is a 40-year-old Luis Ortiz, even though I think he's older, but I don't have proof. So, I don't know. Let's see what happens. Should be a good fight. Deontay should definitely win the fight. But, hey, this is boxing. A lot of things have happened in the past couple of months, so we don't know what the real outcome is going to be. So,
what's everyone's reaction to our recent top 10? We can start off with everyone's reaction to Canelo being number one before we end it. So, I had Canelo number one in my top 10, which is still arguable, but I had him in mine. What do you guys? What were your thoughts on that?
I'll let Courtney go on this one.
Personally, I had Canelo as the top spot on my list. I mean, we can take some time to run down people's lists individually, or like, oh, you know what? Yeah, you know what? Since we got time, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to kick my top 10, even though I basically revealed my number one prematurely. But at number 10, I had El Gallo, Juan Francisco Estrada. At number 9, I had Mikey Garcia. At number 8, I had Noya Inoue. At number 7, I got Keith One Time Thurman. At number 6, I got Triple G. At number 5, I got Alexander Usyk. At number 4, I got Errol Spence. Number 3, Lomachenko. Number 2, Terrence Crawford. And as I said before, I got Canelo at number 1. And you know, I'm gonna give everybody else time to run down their list because we got a limited window. But basically, what made my pick as far as Canelo being number 1, and I pretty much decided on it before his last fight against Danny Jacobs, is you know, it's a combination of the resume. No other boxer, no other active champion right now, with the exception of Manny Pacquiao, is touching Canelo as far as resume, and he's almost got as many fights as Manny Pacquiao. You know, the guy is he's not even 30 yet. He's, you know what I'm saying, he's over 50 fights. And you know, just to see what he's done against the level of competition, and just the number of style matchups he's encountered, and you know, to go where he started and to be where he's at, holding 3 of the 4 major straps at 160, and you know, the 2 decisions against in his fights against Triple G, they were controversial, if you will, but you know, it's basically we merit these ratings on what the judges decide and not what we've decided within ourselves. But you know, he basically derailed Triple G's historic run as far as many championship defenses at 160 of his titles. So you know, if we're factoring all those things in, I think that was just enough for him to edge out Terrence Crawford from where I saw it as deserving that number 1 slot.
I think you make a big, not big, but great argument. You know, and it kicks. And I'm upset, but at the same time, I'm happy because he deserves it. Like you said, I mean, he's got a better resume at his age. He's not even 30 yet. Than I would say 98% of boxers already. You know, not just present, but even past. It's very hard to argue that Canelo is not number 1 after, you know, not even looking like his best, easily, in my opinion, beating Daniel Jacobs. When I say easily, you know, it wasn't a dominant performance, but it's like he didn't break a sweat, and it was like sparring for him, you know. And this is, you know, Jacobs is a very, very talented boxer. He made it look like it was nothing, you know. And yes, we can argue obviously that he did lose the first fight against Triple G, but we can argue also that the second one was a draw. But I have no quarrels with him being the winner of that fight, and he's got a lot of great boxers under his belt. such as Miguel Cotto, for example, and Trout and Lara, DJ and Triple G. He's done a lot. He's accomplished already a lot at such a young age. And as far as my top 10, and I don't want anybody to judge me because I have AJ at number 9. Clearly, that's not the case anymore. But I got Canelo 1, Loma 2, 3, Bud, and that's always interchangeable. Loma and Bud. We can argue that Bud is 2, Loma 3. I have Spence at 4, Triple G at 5, Usyk 6, Inoue at 7, Garcia at 8, AJ at 9, like I said, and Deontay at 10. Tommy, what's your top 10, and what's your feeling about Canelo being number 1?
Well, my feeling about Canelo being number 1 is unanimous with everybody right now. I mean, I think we're all singing the same tune on it. I mean, it's very, very hard to deny overall everything that this man has done at the age, the way he's progressed, and all of that. I mean, we can talk about, the tainted meat and all that stuff as well, which are valid arguments and some people's rights to not put him in the place that we have him right now. But I mean, it's undeniable right now, I feel. So my top 10, I also had Canelo number 1, Terrence Bud Crawford number 2, Loma at number 3, Spence at number 4, Usyk at number 5, Triple G at number 6, Inoue at 7, Mikey Garcia at 8. I also had AJ at number 9. I was given the props in the way that I felt needed and was deserved at the time, and he can get the hell out of here now. And at 10, yeah, man. And at 10, I
talking
actually
about
had
kicking a man while he's down.
You're damn right, because I gave him the props, and I'm bomb squad anyway. But I was being respectful. But now it's a done deal. So number 10, I had Santa Cruz, and I could see after some additional thought putting Estrada there, but I did have Santa Cruz in mind written at number 10.
Well, that's good. That's good. Oh, and congratulations, Tommy. We all hear that congratulations is in order. I see that you are a grandpa pop.
OG, that is. Original grandfather.
All right. We're just gonna call you Pop. Papa Tommy. For those who don't know, Tommy just had his first. It's your first grandson, right?
That's correct.
Oh man, you old.
Hey, congratulations, Tommy. You're truly blessed, man.
Appreciate it, fellas. Thank you.
And you are certainly the youngest looking grandfather I've ever seen in my life.
Hey, that's why I'm called the OG. That's why I'm called the OG, man.
That's like he's like the second coming to Ray J.
No. No.
Tommy's like the second coming to Ray J. Hey, don't say no, man. He had that very, very famous video. So, but everybody out there, peace, love, and boxing. Ladies and gentlemen, it was a pleasure.
I just have a desire to be great. That's one of the main things. The fact that it's another man on the other side of the ring that wants to hurt me.
I told you, all of my critics, I told you all that I was the greatest of all time.
He can bring the pressure. He can box. I'm a true champion. I'm willing to go to his turf. I'm a step with him. I'm a crush him. Y'all can mark my word to this. I'm a crush him. He's a C+ fighter. I'm an A+ fighter because I'm a dominate. This guy is flat footy, swing wild. I'm not worried about who his trainer is because the trainer can't get in there and fight for him. I'm ready mentally, physically, because I'm a team like he's a C+ fighter. I'm a dominate. I'm a dog this fighter.
I'm the best ever. I'm the most brutal and vicious and most ruthless champion there's ever been. There's no one to stop me. Link with the Corcoran. No, I'm Alexander. He's no Alexander. I'm the best ever. There's never been anybody ruthless. I'm Sonny Liston. I'm Jack Dempsey. There's no one like me. I'm from Nairport. There's no one that can match me. My style is impetuous. My defense is impregnable. And I'm just ferocious. I want your heart. I want to eat your children.
Can you? Listen, your concentration is leaving a little bit. Pick it up. Pick it up. Fire's coming. Are you ready for the fire? No, we're firemen. We are firemen. The heat doesn't bother us. We live in the heat. We train the heat. It tells us that we're ready. We're at home. We're where we're supposed to be. Flames don't intimidate us. What do? We control the flames. We control them. We move the flames where we want to. And then we extinguish them.